Ferropolis is a former mining facility turned museum near Leipzig. Me and my parents shortly stopped by on our way home from the Leipziger Book Fairy and the Manga Comic Con 2025. Unfortunately, it was raining, so we didn't actually go inside, but even from the outside, the area looked really eye-catching, like there were giant machines and stuff like that. I'm a huge fan of like lost places or old factories that are basically falling apart or were taken back by nature. I realized I also want a place like that in the Jermanzburg region and maybe a few smaller ones too. More to that later. I got the idea of making a somewhat convergent Fakemon for a line I drew almost 2 years ago, Bobbity and Rustwyrm. All the rusted metal and shipping containers made me think of an insect Fakemon that likes to eat rusted metal to repair or harden parts of its body. I looked up insects that are associated with eating metal, and I found out that apparently roly-polies can remove heavy metals from soil, which wasn't originally what I was going for or like the idea I had in my mind, but it was still pretty cool. I thought more of actually eating like metal bars and stuff like that, but that doesn't really matter. I think a roly-poly is actually pretty perfect. Because it reminded me of a Fakemon from a while ago, Bobbity, which is based on a bobbit worm, but the whole body shape is a little more like a roly-poly. And I thought this Fakemon could sort of work like a convergent form for it. While Bobbity is a little bug living underwater, this Fakemon obviously lives on the land. It is mostly found in places with rusted metal, which it cleans off of said rust. They are also often kept by people who work on industrial sites. In nature, they usually roam around in small groups, which can lead to creepy encounters if you decide to visit a lost place in the night. Here it is, Nommity, a pure steel type. The name comes from nom, like the sound you make when eating, and I try to make it similar to Bobbity. Like Bobbity, the shining isn't crazy different, but I added some golden parts to make it a little more fancy. They turn themselves into a ball when scared and just either roll away or directly at their opponent. And now to the evolution. The basic concept was already visible in the first stage, but now it's a little more obvious. This stage is based on railroad trails. The silver parts are the metal bars and the brown ones the wood parts in between. They are a lot more flat and a little inspired by centipedes or millipedes and less by roly-polies. I imagine them being distantly related to Sizzlipede and Centiskorch. Maybe like 3 million years ago they had the same ancestor or something like that. Maybe I could draw that at one point. That kind of would be fun, I guess. Well, I wanted this stage to have a similar vibe to Rustwyrm. A little creepy, a little menacing, but not downright terrifying. I feel like bugs or bug-like Pokemon are probably scary enough for a lot of people, and I still want those people to like my Fakemon and maybe even choose it for their team. So to make it cute, I gave it tiny little legs. I have no idea if that actually makes it cute or that's just in my head, but yeah, I let you be the judge of these. These Fakemon are also used on industrial sites where they actually act as railroad systems, cause if your railroad system is made out of Pokemon, you can save resources, especially metal and wood. So, a quick detour. Lately I wanted to actually learn how to draw. Like, yes, I can somewhat draw Fakemon and I was in three-day anime drawing courses, but I never really felt motivated to actually get up and learn, for example, anatomy or perspective and like all the other important stuff you need. Instead, I'd much rather spend my time doom scrolling on my phone, and I hate it, but I'm not gonna do that any longer. Anytime I feel the desire to doom scroll, I now try to either check out one of the many drawing tutorials I saved on my phone and draw them, or practice the ones I already did. And my favorite ones so far were the fisheye tutorials and the cylinder perspective tutorials. And you may be wondering why I'm telling you this. It's because I think this Fakemon would have probably looked better if I drew it after these tutorials. Unfortunately, I do not have the time to redraw it, but I still think it's rather cool. Yeah, I don't know, I guess I just wanted to let you know that I'm trying to work on my drawing skills. Whatever. The time's up, here it is, Rustwyrm. I tried to parallel the names since it's a sort of convergent evolution, Priswyrm, Rustwyrm, yeah, whatever. Since I like lost places, there are gonna be a few in the Jermanzburg region which you can visit in a secret Lost-Place-Hunt-Sidequest. Maybe the goal is to visit all those places and take a Polaroid photo in front of them as proof that you've been there, or like make a graffiti on the wall or something like that. And in the meantime you can also catch any of these little critters. Thanks for stopping by, I hope you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe to not miss any new videos, let me know your opinions in the comments, and see you in the comments.